Do you not have money? Are you into cars? Welcome back, Boost.
We have 3 cars that any teenager can afford on a budget.
We picked them out online. We don't actually have these cars. Disclaimer.
And these aren't your cliche cars you're going to see on every other list. We went out and did research to find the most slept on, underrated cars for this video.
The best part is we don't know what each other picked. We have zero idea.
It's a total mystery.
Now that you guys are hyping this up, it's making me feel bad about my choice.
Do you have any notes on it?
Yeah, you can use your nose.
I don't need notes because I own this car. Do you want someone to point at that car and be like, that has a V8? Well, you picked the right car. I picked the Hyundai Genesis, the 4-door V8. Not the 2-door. The 2-door has a V6. 4 doors for all your buddies and friends. The reason why I picked this car is because I own this car. I drive this car 25 miles a day. And I think this is the most perfect daily car for a car enthusiast. Let's say if I was like a teen and I wanted to get into a cheap, relatively slept-on car, I would be choosing this car. All Hyundais are cheap, obviously for a reason.
Now, you know what? Wait, can I say something?
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's a BMW. It's got the speed. It's got the luxury. It brakes like a BMW. The only difference is, with the Hyundai, parts aren't as expensive.
That's right.
First, when you said that, I'm like, oh, this is a joke. Like, but then the more I think about it, kids buy BMWs as their first car. It's got the performance. It's got the V8. It's got the fun. I do think it looks good. I'm going to admit, I think the car looks good. The only thing it really doesn't have is reliability.
Or the name. It's not a name brand, but that's also a good thing because I'd imagine these things are cheaper than a Lexus or a BMW or an Audi of the same caliber.
At first, I hated it, but the more I think about it, it actually makes sense.
That's the thing. It is perfectly. I got mine for $3,000. That's a V8 for $3,000.
And you can find deals like that for a car that's not a leading brand.
This is equipped with a 4.6 liter V8, naturally aspirated. It comes with a ZF 6-speed transmission, automatic transmission. 0 to 60 is in 5.3 seconds. Quarter mile time, 13.8. That's not bad. It's limited to 130 miles per hour. Top speed. This was a huge step from my old Honda Civic. My Honda Civic was newer. It was a 2015 Honda Civic. This is a 2009. This has more technology in it. I have heated, cooled seats. My Civic doesn't have that.
Biggest issue, other than reliability, is aftermarket support, because I don't think there's probably many performance stuff to do with it. Prior to him buying this car, I had no idea Hyundai made a V8.
I didn't either.
First, I thought this was a really bad pick. The more I think about it, it's not that awful.
No, especially if you're a teen that wants to go for more of a sleeper, low-key type of build, or even just a low-key type of car in general, daily driver, whatever. This is phenomenal.
But mine is better.
Mine is also significantly better.
I want to say, this is also a fun car to beat on. I mean, you're a teen.
Jesus
Not like that. And themselves.
I had a Jeep Cherokee. I did not beat that at all.
I had a Hyundai Veloster. It beat me. At first, I was laughed at your choice, but then as you explained it, I understood it, and I don't hate it anymore.
Bringing out the notes,
Guys,
baby.
the notes are coming out. In America, we have been there and done that with the WRXs, the Focus STs, the Mazda Speed 3s. These are cars we've seen. These are cars we see every day. They're cool cars, don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's time to switch it up, which is why I have chosen the Mark IV and the Mark V Volkswagen Golf R32. This is a trim that ran from 05 to 09. The reason this car exists is actually kind of funny. Subaru had the STI, Mitsubishi had the Lancer Evos, and Volkswagen wanted a taste of the all-wheel drive sports market. So they took a Golf and they made it all-wheel drive and gave it a V6.
They gave a
Really?
Golf a
I didn't
V6?
know that. I didn't know that they put a V6 in the Golf.
So a lot of people haven't heard of these cars, and probably for the reasons I'm about to explain.
Was it sold in America?
It was sold in the United States.
Okay.
It was sold in the United States. It was sold in Canada. It was sold in Europe. You can get it in a Mark IV or a Mark V body, whichever one you prefer. I like the Mark V better. I think it looks better. This car comes standard with a 3.2 liter dual head cam V6, sporting 24 valves. That's 4 valves per cylinder for those that are bad at math. Now you're probably asking yourself, Tyler, we're doing a teenage daily driver enthusiast video, right? Manual transmissions kind of suck for daily driving, and all the GTIs and the Golfs came with manuals, right? Wrong. You can get these optioned with a dual clutch. You can get an Audi Volkswagen Group DCT in a all-wheel drive V6 sports car. The reason people don't know about this is because, like I said earlier, this thing was made to compete with the WRX STI and the Evos.
Which it's not going to do.
It did not do a very good job of that. 0 to 60, keep in mind, all-wheel drive, and this is with the DCT, so this is the automatic, 6.2 seconds.
Wait, before I judge that, how much horsepower is this thing making?
250 horsepower.
I don't think 6.2 seconds is that bad at all, especially if you're a teenager buying your first car.
Like I was saying, this car was meant to compete with the WRX and the Evo, and it didn't do a good job, so people didn't buy it. So the resale value tanked. You can get these things in a 3 to 5 door option. Keep in mind, the top speed is still 155 miles an hour. You can get these things used for a little under 100,000 miles for 9 to 18,000 for good ones. The most I'm seeing these cars used around is like 10 to 15. So if you want to save up a little extra money and you're a teenager, you can get one of these things. I've seen one in person in my entire life. You would 100% stand out. And if you want to have a little extra fun as a car enthusiast, you can always get it in manual. If you pitch this to your parents, they're gonna say yes. It's a 4-door hatchback. It's a Volkswagen. So I think when parents hear the name Volkswagen, they think about hippies and edibles. So
On Boost, we have an act for ugly cars.
yes,
We really do. And
Yes,
I got
we
a
do.
car that is genuinely ugly. It ran from the years 2004 to 2006. I double checked the generation. The car is the 5th generation, greatest company ever. Jeep. Greatest company ever.
Pontiac.
Pontiac GTO. I thought of a couple cars, right? And then I looked at the GTO. And then I looked at this stats of what this car can do. Car was a 3rd generation Holden Monero. All right, so this is the car. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's hideous. I think looks wise, it's a disgrace to the GTO.
I think this is part of the reason it didn't sell.
Oh yeah, without a question. The 2004. By the way, this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle.
Of course, yes.
The 2004 had an LS1, which is a 5.7 liter, 346 cubic inch V8, which is found in the C5 Corvette, the Firebird, and the Camaro.
Wow.
And 2004 is putting out 365 pound-feet of torque and 350 horsepower. It's a 4-speed auto with an optional 6-speed. It weighs 3,725 pounds, and the 0 to 60 is 5.5 seconds. Very respectable. Does the quarter mile at 14 seconds on the dot at 105 miles an hour. Top speed is 160 miles an hour. Only mechanical difference, if you can consider it mechanical, to the Holden is the exhaust.
Was this a Holden or was the Holden this GTO?
It was a Holden.
So, okay.
It comes from Australia. You can find these things for under $10,000.
Really?
Yes, which is an LS1, so much support. It's got the 4-speed automatic, which it might be slushy, but aftermarket support, cheap, V8, fun. Everything is good except the way it looks. But I'm not talking about the 2004 model year. I'm specifically talking about the 2005 and 2006 model years of these cars.
Why?
They sell for the same year. Well, because GM did a little bit of trickery in it. They gave it a better drive shaft for less power loss in the rear.
Okay.
They gave it bigger brake calipers for better stopping.
Okay.
Yeah, they also gave it an LS2.
Oh my God, bro.
It's a 364 cubic inch V8 that's found in the C6 Corvette and the CTSV. 6.0 liter, 2005, 2006. It's making 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque.
Oh my God.
And for all that, it weighs 25 pounds more. 0 to 60 is 4.8 seconds, and the quarter mile is 13.3 at 107.
Oh my God.
At 107 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
The most common problems with this vehicle, these are severe problems. The throttle bodies build up carbon, and the gas cap goes bad. So you might need to get another gas cap. Other main issue that I have with this, you cannot add power to this thing. That transmission rear end will blow.
Really?
So you
It's the same. Yeah, you would either have to build that 4-speed auto, or you need to get a different transmission. And I think the rear end can't handle much more power. MSRP for it back in the day was around $34,000. This is the real part that surprised me. I might have lost this challenge because how unsafe this car is now that I think about it.
175 miles an hour.
178 miles an hour.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
You can go 178 miles an hour. You can find a transmission that would easily bolt into this for cheap. This is for a high school kid, so I'm not going to tell a high school kid to go to a junkyard, go buy a GM transmission bolted up in his high school parking lot. But people know the name. They don't know this, and they don't know what it can do.
Right now, before you introducing this car, I mean, if I saw this on the road, I'm just looking past it.
Take care of this car.
If you take care of this car, this car will last you. This transmission will last you.
Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what other cars you put on this underrated daily teenager list.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Send to your girlfriend that's supposed to go to Buffalo Wild Wings with you tonight.
And the pet lobster from the last video.
You don't have to.